Welcome back in the pursuit of wealth, crypto traders and investors. It's Rod with Pow Group, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news and interviews. Today is Saturday, August 30th. Happy Saturday, and I hope you're having a great weekend. In this video, we're going to take a look at XLM. We're going to bring up the price chart. I'll give my thoughts and opinions on the technicals and what to expect in the days, weeks, months ahead in terms of the price action. But we're seeing a pullback across the board. We're going to be discussing where we're going to see more downside. I'm going to give you some important levels, support and resistance to be looking at, and see if we can avoid another leg down. It's going to be all about key support, so we'll take a look at those levels here. Before we do, make sure to smash the like. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, you'll be notified on any future videos. And full disclosure, I do own XLM in my portfolio, and you can follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So as always, not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. And if you want to use the link for BTCC in the description and the comment section, we're doing a trading challenge on this crypto exchange. They even have tokenized stocks as well in forms of futures. So you can get 10% bonus on your first time deposit as long as it's $500 or more, up to $10,000 bonuses per user. And there's no KYC required, and it's been operating for 14 years, never been hacked. Can't say enough good things about it. There's currently 28 people copy trading Pow Group right now on BTCC. So it's very simple. If I enter a trade, you enter a trade. If you're doing copy trading, if I sell, you sell. So again, check out the description. We're at about a 75% win rate right now, meaning every single trade 75% of the time is winning. So if you haven't already done so, you can check out the link for that in the description. But as you can see, it's been an absolute bloodbath. I was really looking at 105,000 on Bitcoin. If we were to lose 105, that was going to be very concerning, and we hit 107, and we're recovering here at the moment. We're starting the daily bounce. You've got XRP coming up from 276, now sitting at 285, and little brother, sister, whatever you want to call it, XLM hit a low of 35 cents, and we're sitting at 36.3 at the moment, and we're starting the daily bounce. So we're breaking the high of yesterday, but we have some key resistance to be watching here, and we're going to be looking at the daily time frame and the weekly time frame specifically. But here on the daily time frame, you can see we still have a weekly bull flag, but we're potentially forming a daily bear flag here at the moment. So we need to get above 38 cents. If we can get above 38 cents, I think there's a good chance that the bottom is in our local low here and the local bottom, and where we could potentially save this key support and confirm a weekly bull flag. If we confirm that weekly bull flag, you'd be looking up somewhere around 90 cents as the target. Again, we'll take a look at that in just a moment. But on the daily time frame, key resistance is going to be 38 cents. If we don't get above 38, then this daily bear flag is still intact, and key support is going to be the low here at 35 cents. If we lose 35 cents, then you just take your measured move there from the high to the low, and we could be heading down sub 31 cents. And there's a lot of support in that 30-cent area. So like I said, key resistance to get above is going to be 38 cents. And then if we break that, like I said, this is going to negate the bear flag, and then the chances of that weekly bull flag confirming are extremely high. And like I said, we could be pushing that 80 to 90 cent mark in a hurry. And then, like I said, key support is going to be 35 cents. Now, if we zoom out to the weekly, as you can see here, we held the 0.32 fib, and we dipped slightly below it. But as of right now, we're potentially forming with 22 hours left in this weekly candle, a little over 22 hours. We're forming a potential lower wick here, so I wouldn't be too concerned about the lower wick if we were able to close above that 0.32 fib there at 37 cents. And then that gives us the potential for the weekly bull flag. So we just take our low here to the high, move it out to our 0.382 fib, and you can see the target's about 91 cents. And in order to confirm that, we would have to break 52 cents. So if we can break 52 cent resistance, hold this daily support here as well, hold 35 cents, start the weekly bounce, get back up to around that 52 cent resistance, break that, and then like I said, your measured move, you're looking at a move up to around 91 cents. We do have a little bit of a red flag forming here on the weekly time frame. We lost the 10-week moving average, the stochastic cross bearish as well on the weekly, and the MACD on the weekly could potentially see a bear cross here over the next week or two leading into September. We know that there's a ton of altcoin ETFs that could potentially get approved some point in September ahead of the October deadline. I would put it at probably an 80 to 90% chance that we see a slew of ETFs get approved in the next month or two, and that's going to ignite, in my opinion, full-blown alt season. We're in the early stages of it right now, But if we can avoid this MACD bear cross here on the weekly as well, because if we see that confirm and we have that cross bearish, that's going to be what we call in the POW algo service a bearish triple thunder crossover. So when we lose the price, 10-week moving average as support, and a MACD and a stochastic bear cross, and when all three of those happen simultaneously, that's called a bearish triple thunder crossover. You can see on the flip side of that, when we get above the 10-week moving average price, we see a bull cross of the stochastic and the MACD. We see usually tons of upside. Last time we went from about 28 cents, like I said, to 52, and now we're seeing the flip side of that. And we could even see the Clarity Act advance in September as well. We know it's a long weekend this weekend. Congress was on, in the US, they were on recess, so they'll be reconvening here this week. So there's a good chance that we get some progress with regards to market structure and the Clarity Act, and could be perfect timing because, like I said, this is a pretty big red flag here at the moment if we were to see this MACD cross bearish. But like I said, all about 35 cents. If we lose 35 cents, confirm that daily bear flag. We also have the 50 weekly moving average sitting there at 30.4 cents, and we have the 200-day moving average at 31. So there's a lot of support in that 30-cent region. And on the weekly time frame, we just had a bull cross of the 50 and the 200 weekly moving average. And then typically, because these are lagging indicators, right, they track the price. Typically, what happens is leading up to that bull cross, same thing on the daily time frame when you have a golden cross, which we actually just had one as well, and that occurred back in the last week of July. So typically what happens is you see a big move, you see the golden cross, and then you consolidate, come back as support, and then you go again. Now the same thing's happening on the weekly time frame when the 50 weekly and the 200 weekly moving average cross. On the platinum, on the POW algo alerts, we call that a platinum bull cross. So very, very bullish. You can see on the way down when the 50 was above the 200 and it crossed, tons of downside. Now we're looking for the flip side of that. And like I said, typically we get above it, extended, come back down, test it as support. We have that bull cross, and then we go again. So it's looking good. Like I said, it's all about that daily support at 35 cents. If we were to lose that, that would more than likely bring the weekly MACD bear cross to fruition, and then we would more than likely be back down to that 30-cent mark in a hurry. So all about getting above 38 cents, and then we got our sights on 52 cents. Break that, weekly bull flag confirmed, and we could see 91 cents in a hurry. Personally, I think we could easily hit $3 to $5 this cycle on XLM. It's really going to depend, is Bitcoin going to continue into price discovery? If Bitcoin goes to 200,000, well, that might even be, we might even go a lot higher than $5 on XLM. If Bitcoin tops out somewhere around 125,000, 135,000, whatever it is, then we might expect a little bit on the lower side. But again, it's going to really depend on all of the catalysts that get strung together. If we see no tax cryptos, if we see the Clarity Act, ETFs galore, there's so many bullish catalyst rates cuts that are coming, right? So it all depends on how dovish they are. If we start to see rate cuts really start to accelerate and they come in a lot higher cuts than we were anticipating, well, that's going to send the market absolutely salivating. And yeah, no one has a crystal ball. It's going to be interesting, but I think the next few months are going to be explosive. There's going to be some fireworks here into the end of the year, but none of us have a crystal ball. We just have to follow support and resistance, and we have the clear levels to be watching. All right. Once again, hope you're having a great weekend. It's Rod with POW Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth. Let me know what you think of this in the comment section below. We'll continue the conversation there, and we'll see you again on the next video.